We just got our first look at gameplay of Modern Warfare Zombies Season 3 Reloaded. Some of you may not even realize that this is coming out next week, so we're going to be going all over the details, breaking down the trailer. We've been waiting so long, it feels like, for new content, and it's finally on the way. Let me know your honest thoughts from the trailer, and if you're excited for new content to finally be here, then let me know by dropping a thumbs up. And I'll be streaming this the moment it drops, which is next week, Wednesday, the 1st of May. Starting off, this trailer seems very story-centric compared to others we've seen before that tells a story that Dr. Jansen has gone into this Dark Aether Rift on her own accord due to the dark entity voices leading her in here, and we need to go and save her. And as the trailer goes on, you can see that there is some actual really exciting story actually happening for once, where the dark entity has seemingly taken over the entirety of this Dark Aether Rift. As we see towards the end of the trailer, as teased by the developers in the creator call, we are finally going to see a massive reveal of who the entity actually is. And judging by what we can see here in the trailer, it is a pretty crazy setup here, where it almost looks like a massive boss fight of sorts, where this entity is fully in control of Dr. Jansen here. There's a moment where it just picks her up and floats her in the air like we saw at the end of the Act 3 story mission, and it looks like we are actually going to be fighting the entity. That's what the trailer makes it out to be, but that's not going to happen. In fact, we are just going to see the reveal of the identity of this entity, which a lot of us assume is actually just a Dark Aether version of Ava Jansen. Now, the most interesting part about this area is that we know it's another Al Mazrah section remake, the Hydroelectric, judging by the shots at the very beginning of the trailer. But what is the most intriguing is that the skybox for this Dark Aether Rift makes it seem like this is actually on the moon. You can see the Earth in the skybox is extremely close to where we are, so this is a really intriguing and sort of peculiar design decision, because developers know just how important and iconic the moon is within Call of Duty Zombies. Like, it's absolutely synonymous. And so this gives off the impression in a way that this Dark Aether Rift might not actually even be set on Earth within the Dark Aether, but could be set on an entirely different planet that is very close to Earth but isn't actually on the Earth. And if that is the case, that's actually really cool, because the visuals we got of the entity, which looks very big and menacing in this map, almost akin to like Samantha Maxis coming out of the MPD, is giving off those vibes. And if they're paying homage to it with the fact that this is not set on the Earth and we're just so close to the Earth, like as if we're on the moon, then that to me looks really cool. We also get a very sneak peek at the story mission itself, because at one point the player is shooting these crystals, and it's revealing these pillars that have a icon under it of a giraffe. And we know that from leaks, this Easter egg to open the new Dark Aether Rift is going to involve finding 4 child toys that belong to Ava. So the process of completing this story mission will involve us destroying those, and then we're having to put on a gas mask. Then it seems that these pillars are going to be massive soul boxes that are surrounding the dark entity, which looks pretty cool. Like I mentioned, you would think that the dark entity is the boss fight itself, but we actually get a big teaser right at the very end for a few frames where we see a different looking disciple to what we've had before. And this is going to be the boss fight for the map, as it has been leaked already. Season 2 Reloaded, we got that electrified version of the Mangler, and it seems in this we're going to be getting a fire version of the disciple. That boss fight should give us the upgraded giraffe toy, and then we'll have to go ahead and do the 3 other items and upgrade them. And we've also been given a teaser about what's going to be within the Dark Aether Rift once we unlock it. There's going to be some sort of Easter egg involving getting different zombie body parts, such as a head, an arm, and a leg. And of course, if you want to get the new schematics coming to Season 3 Reloaded, then you need to do the hardcore version of the Dark Aether Rift. So let's go over those new schematics if you aren't aware already. First is dead wire detonators, which will electrify your blast for massive damage using the dead wire detonators, which adds the dead wire ammo mod effect to all of your explosive armaments, which includes lethals and launchers. So that's going to be crazy to have these electrified grenades, as well as being able to have like an electrified RGL, which is already one of the best weapons in the game. So that's going to be really, really fun. The next schematic is the golden mask filter, which is essentially like a durable gas mask that is able to regenerate itself over time. Unlike the durable, where eventually it will be destroyed, this will allow you to self-regenerate it. It can still break if its charge is fully used up in one go. So if you go out of gas, that's how you'll recharge the levels back up to full. And the last is a very interesting one because we saw a familiar mechanic in the DMZ mode, which is the Sergeant's Beret. But if you don the Sergeant's Beret, it will trick the soldier AI into thinking you're one of their own. And we have a screenshot there where you can potentially see what you are going to look like. But as a bonus, you'll gain a mercenary bodyguard who will fearlessly follow you into the action. And I think that's what the screenshot is showing there, that bodyguard. I don't know if they have infinite health or just a certain amount of health that once you've ran it into battle and it's done what it can for you, it just dies out. Overall though, I don't think these schematics are as useful as what we got in season 1, and they're probably on par in usefulness with season 2. I think the dead wire detonators are the highlight here. We'll just have to see in action when the update drops next week. And on top of that, we have a new Warlord, which is the Rainmaker, who can be found at Raha Island. He deals with mortar rounds and RPG fire on approach, and he has set multiple traps within the house that he is situated in to catch unsuspecting operators off guard. On top of this, what isn't mentioned within the blog post nor in this trailer is that there are some big quality of life improvements coming to the game with the update as well. That including that when the update drops next week, finally that stash will be doubled from 10 slots to 20 slots. I know a lot of people were disappointed that I shared that information, and when season 3 dropped, the stash didn't increase, and it seemed they were waiting until season 3 reloaded to just drop everything that was coming for zombies at that point. So it will be increased from 10 to 20, and the craziest thing is that the schematics will now have a global cooldown where by extracting a certain amount of points, that will be time off all of your schematics so that you can unlock and use them again. The way it was explained to us by the developers was simply that it's going to be sort of like a tier system based on a certain amount of points. I have no idea what the amounts are, but as an example, could be 25,000 points extracted will knock off 4 hours, 50,000 points will knock off 8, 100,000, 16 hours, you get the picture. So the more you play, the more points you extract per game, the more you're going to be calling down every single schematic overall. It's not like it's just a timer for one of them, it's a timer for all of them. In my opinion, this is a much needed quality of life, and I'm hoping that there's some other quality of life secrets that are going to be within the update as well. Some of you might say it's too little too late, and I do feel you on that. I think if this change and quality of life came at like season 1 or even season 2, it would have been a much more exciting thing to be getting. With there being leaks of there being a wallet system existing within the mode as well, that whenever that gets implemented in the game as well, that's going to throw a lot into question on how is the cooldown going to work along with the wallet. Will extracting points also be able to be put into that wallet, or will they just be converted into cooldown time? Because I don't think they could be both. And I'm excited to finally be getting some brand new Modern Warfare Zombies content to dive into. I don't think it's going to last more than a day or two, but I'm going to make the most of it, and I'm going to be streaming hunting for that Dark Aether Rift Easter egg next week, and I'll be putting up guides on how to unlock it, and also going over all the new schematics and also any new weapons that they add in as well, seeing what's good and what's new. But outside of that, I'm not expecting too many new changes or big surprises. As we know that Treyarch are no longer working on the mode, it's Sledgehammer Games, but who knows? We know there's at least one Easter egg hidden within that Dark Aether Rift. There could be some more, so let's just see what happens. But let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Drop a thumbs up and subscribe.